fetch all the withdrawals and transfer events, and to make sure that they correspond. So basically all the claims, all the transfer events originating from claim function calls have the right balance. So all the withdrawals between the current claim and the previous one. So the 3 scripts we use for this are here, so you can check them out if you want. We also might want to check the actual balance on GNO in between, which we haven't done, but that should not be too complicated, so we can do it. I can do it for end of the day. I have one question though. So on the DevNet, we upgraded the contract because it was the wrong version, right? So I'm assuming it was the previous withdrawal contract because withdrawals worked, and we're upgrading to a new one. So basically, exactly like Shadow, right, Ruben?
Right, but I only tested the claim withdrawals and withdrawable amount functionality, so I'm not 100% sure it went smoothly. I mean, this part works, but I see that the storage slots are not the same there, so it's quite concerning, you know. So I would prefer to check it thoroughly, or keep the slots the same.
Right. Yeah. So that was the question regarding the slots. So we have a formal audit coming, and we're going to ask this and make sure that everything is okay. Lion also made an analysis regarding this actually, and yeah. So yeah, you can check this out on. Actually, I'll just post it on Telegram. But yeah, in theory, everything should be fine. But we have 2 more people having a look at this to make sure that everything is okay. So that's also why we haven't upgraded Shadow yet, but it's going to be done probably in this week still, depending on the audits. So yeah, there's nothing much more to talk about for Shadow. I guess it's directly linked to the storage layout issue. So let's move on to Hive tests. So I heard from Igor, who had a talk with Marcos, that there was potentially some issue with EIP 3651, which is the warm Coinbase. Could you elaborate a bit on this, Marcos? Oh, is he even here? I'm not sure. Oh, no, he's not here. Okay, well, does anyone...
I'm actually working with him on updating to make this contract upgrades on Hive test. I'm not aware of the issue you told, but I know he's actively working on updating the Hive test. So that's the update from my side, from what I know. Okay,
I'll ping him and try to get some information regarding this. Just here.
Okay, he joined, yeah.
Hey, Marcus, so I was just asking a question, but you weren't there yet. Regarding, apparently there's an issue with EIP 3651 regarding the warm Coinbase. Do you have a bit more information about that?
Hey guys, sorry, Philip, can you repeat, please? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, so apparently there's an issue with EIP 3651, which is the warm Coinbase on Gnosis because it doesn't work exactly the same as on Ethereum. Can you comment about that?
No, I will need to check. I can provide some async response on the chat later, if that's okay for you.
Sure. Do you think it might be like an issue for, going forward for mainnet or whatever? Could this be a blocker?
I don't really know, Philip. I will need to check that. I need to think about that. I didn't focus on that part.
Is it a consensus issue? What could you tell us more? What is the issue? Because probably Felipe want to make some decisions today.
Yeah, so we really want to set a date today. So if it's an issue that could block this, it would be very helpful to know, basically.
Okay, Marcus, so please provide us update just after this meeting, what's going on with this issue, okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you. So regarding the to-do, so last week we talked about the shadow fork. Is this still something we want to do, or are we happy with like how the devnets worked kind of? What are your opinions on that? Yeah, go ahead, Marek.
So one thing, maybe Kamil can chime in, because we did some testing around Shadow, and you can after Kamil comments, you can assess if it is needed or not. I'm just not sure. Probably
Yeah,
not.
sure.
But
So
go.
I can give some feedback about Shadow, because I've noticed something is going on Shadow network right after Shadow fork introduced on 25th of May. So before Shadow fork, state DB of the Shadow was growing around 1 megabyte per day. And right now I've noticed that sync time of Shadow is increasing, and state, before Shadow, right? And right now it is increasing like around 1 gigabyte per month. So it is quite a difference right now comparing to pre-Chapella. So this is something concerning which maybe we want to take into consideration. And one more thing is that block processing on post-Chapella on Shadow is now a bit longer. Like right now it is longer for about 20 milliseconds, which is not a lot, but maybe it would be worth to check on Gnosis mainnet as well, because it should be the same, but it still should, but we are not 100% sure. So those are two observations from Shadow. Okay.
Yeah, so my comment here is that we added the withdrawal call, right? And so then this withdrawal call is could be fairly complex. I'm not exactly sure how much gas does it consume. Maybe it would be good to, I don't know, add some debug logs after this call to potentially output how much gas it consumes or something. So we can actually check. But yeah, if the cheddar had nearly empty blocks, and I'm not sure if it had, then this withdrawal call will definitely increase the state changes, because it's quite complicated, right? It actually distributes the tokens. And yeah, so the state DB grows. That's kind of normal. And the blocks, if they were empty and now they are not empty, as their processing time grows, right? And this will be like regardless for the withdrawals. But with the new contract, I expect both to be much less than what it's right now on Shadow, because the contract will be simpler. So the gas consumed will be less. And the state DB increased will be less, because it will be just this one contract. But still, there will be this kind of side effect, and it's unavoidable.
Yeah, so just regarding gas used, we've compared on long-running node on Shadow, and seems like gas used is quite similar on comparing to before Chapella. But yeah, those comments are valid.
Yeah, but this is not exactly what I'm saying, because we do not add system transactions to the gas used calculation,
Right.
only the actual block transactions. So what I meant is adding some kind of potential debug logs for the system transactions gas used. Just that we can check the logs how much it was, for example, or something, because we don't have it now at all.
Okay, so we should maybe test this again once the new contracts are deployed, because they consume way less gas, should be way more efficient. It's just like incrementing an integer. But yeah, that sounds like something we should look into. But yeah, 20 milliseconds, maybe that's just, yeah, adding the withdrawals to the block. I don't know.
Yes, exactly my point, that it should be a lot less problematic with the new contract.
So we're running those two devnets to compare those, right? Now, I think Carlos is set up there to be one today.
But we don't have final version of contract.
Well, that doesn't make any say big difference. So there should be just a cloud storage difference, no functionality difference there. But the calls are the same.
Yeah, so this pull request 45 should be the final version of the contract. except if there's some issues with the audits, but we're not really expecting that as well. We already have one audit, another one is coming, but the contract is quite simple. So if you're deploying a new one, then deploy this one. Yeah, go ahead, Łukasz.
So Ruben, could you check? Could you add some debug logs for system transactions and check how much gas do they consume on Shadow?
Yeah, and just one thing to mention that even if we're gonna change this contract for Shadow to be upgrade safe, I believe for the Gnosis mainnet we should not have this change just to avoid this unnecessary storage there. So for the mainnet, these devnets are really actual and quite helpful. There may be just slight difference for Shadow, but I think it's not that important.
Yeah, so we're definitely not doing this failed upgrade and storage layout change for mainnets. So yeah.
Yeah, so for the mainnet, the contract is final or near final, depending on audit.
Yes, exactly. So this one.
Could you just let us know just after upgrade Shadow that it is done basically, and we can repeat our testing a bit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as we're ready to do this, which is basically the review on this 46 pull request to make sure that the storage layout is good, I'll coordinate with you. I mean, I'll tell you I'm going to do this in 1 hour or something, and then tell you once it's done as well. Perfect. Then, well, there's still this deposit UI thing, but that's not a priority for now. Yeah, so I guess the next step is, do we want to set a mainnet date today or not? Yeah, so it's getting a bit, we're quite late with this schedule, I guess, so it would be nice to be able to kind of have something to work towards. So we were thinking with Selene that it might be really a good idea to set a date now. Assuming, well, knowing that at least DevNets seem to be working and Shadow also with the previous contracts. Yeah, well, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, just before that, I have one question. Have we done any research about Rocket Pool and other staking providers? Because that was our decision. Not saying that it should block or not block fork, but just want to ask this question.
I don't think so. To be honest, there hasn't been a lot on this side. I think we've contacted Stakewise, but I haven't.
You mean
really
regarding the pool? Having to pool?
Regarding the new client function.
Yeah, I don't there is no way that there is a change in difference. Even in this case, would be better because it will allow them to have more observability of what's going on. We have reached out to Stakewise, who are the only ones that are actually having an active operation now, and they don't have any issue with it.
Okay. I wanted to just ask this question because I remember that conclusion about choosing option F, the last option, was that we need to talk with staking providers.
Yeah, with the ones that are active with it, and there's not an issue.
Okay, great.
And I don't have any reason to believe that any other system would have a problem with this.
Right, so I don't think this should be a blocker at this point. So if there's a blocker, then it's mostly like if DevNets don't work or testnet doesn't work or whatever. But at this point, I think we can be very confident that things are working, with maybe the exception of the warm Coinbase potential issue. Hopefully it's not one, but yeah, who knows. And so we were thinking probably like August 1st, because that gives us 6 weeks minus 1 day. So enough time, like 2 or 3 weeks to get releases, and then 3 or 4 weeks to update the clients, basically. So yeah, that should be enough time by quite a margin. And it's also like, yeah, a Tuesday at 11 UTC, so it should be in most of our time zones. The only question left then is, well, will everyone be, well, at least enough people be available, like some people from Nethermind, Erigon, a bit of everything, in case maybe some things go wrong or whatever, or just to have like observability, making sure that everything, is fine. We'll have an event as well, I'm assuming, to live stream this, kind of like Ethereum does. So it might be nice to have, everyone kind of sitting around this. And
I mean, the most important part is, does the team have capacity to fix a bug if it arises?
yeah, so let's start maybe with Nethermind.
Okay, so my personal thing is that I won't be there, but I guess it shouldn't be blocker because I'm expecting baby, so I won't be there, and but probably most of the people from Nethermind should be.
Yeah, I will be available.
Okay, what about Ruben?
I will.
Good. On Nethermind side, Andrew, will you be available?
So it's around the 1st of August.
Yes.
When?
The
Yeah,
1st of
yeah,
August.
fine. Yeah, I'll be available. Yes.
Perfect. From Gateway, do we even need Gateway people? Probably not. Or maybe for if there's RPC issues or something. Yeah, from Gateway, is someone available?
There will be someone available. I can't
Okay.
promise exactly the person, but there will be at least a couple of team members on the infra side who can fix.
Perfect. And in general, does anyone have any issues with August 1st regarding like timing? Is it too early, too late, whatever? Does anyone have something to say about that?
So it's nearly 40 days from now, right?
It's 6 weeks from now. 6 weeks minus 1 day.
It sounds good, I think.
I mean, there should just be configs on Ethereum, on Erigon and Nethermind. That should go very quickly, right? Because we have everyone here. And then 5 CL clients, I think, in which we have done updates already fairly quickly. So, I mean, for the releases, it should be fairly, there shouldn't be any issues. And then having even 3 or 4 weeks to update, that should be.
Do we support Prism? Like, can people run Prism in Gnosis now? Neither Nimbus, right?
Nimbus works. Prism doesn't.
Okay.
Prism is, I think, on Guillaume's plate, but he's having some issues with Geth still. So, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Marek.
I have one question. Of course, time is okay, but when do you expect releases? 2 weeks, 3 weeks before that? I mean, both options are fine. Just want to.
I would say as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okay, so we are not waiting for, I don't know, 1 week of testing and then, but whatever.
I would say as soon as possible with expected deadline of about 2 weeks. So if you are planning a release in a few days and you can sneak it in, that's great. If you are planning a release in 10 days, then that would work too. And so if you don't have any release within 2 weeks, we will expect you to do a release specifically for this.
Yeah, it's not the problem. We will probably do a release specifically for Gnosis, and we want to do 1.20 release now, and then just make sure that it is stable version and build Gnosis hard fork on top of that. It's not the problem for us to release.
Yeah, 1 week. 1 week is great. No problem.
Okay. So we will coordinate and we will let you know about our releases.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if we could have everything merged and released in 2 weeks, I think that would be great. 3 weeks at the latest, maybe for some CL clients we don't have great partnerships with. But it should be done, I mean, everything should be ready in 2 to 3 weeks at the latest to give our users 3 to 4 weeks to update, especially because it's like holiday period or whatever. So some people might not be there or whatever. So we have to give them some time.
Yeah, I think on the merge, the biggest problem was the drop in participation for people not updating. And one of the causes was probably not enough time. So we want to do it right this time. I think 4 weeks is plenty. And I think all the consensus clients that, like, I think we have not coordinated a release with Prism, but all the others are very cooperative. And if they have to, they will do a patch release only for Gnosis.
Yes,
Or
and
that's what we have talked in the past.
yeah, and we're probably going to start talking about this already on Discord, maybe, well, this week, to kind of tell people they should be ready in the coming weeks.
I mean, if we are final with the date, final call. This is the date.
Except if there's an issue now with Hive tests or DevNets, whatever
Yes.
in between.
So we should start communications immediately.
Yeah.
Let people know on what date we have the assurance that clients will be ready, so they can plan an update schedule. And on the meantime, I will communicate with the consensus teams today, and then we should be good.
Yes, perfect. All right, well, that's great. So if there's nothing else regarding this, let's move on just to clients, well, standard client updates, I guess. So Nethermind.
Not much update from our end. So we are preparing a new release, and also I was testing the contract manually, like comparing withdrawable amount, mapping with claim withdrawal functionality. So everything works fine. We do not have any major issues in the DevNets, and we are kind of running new DevNet internally today to compare like pre and post Shanghai for the mainnet. And yeah, we're updating Hive tests for the new contract, and more or less that's it. Do we have anything else, Marek?
No, I think you covered everything.
Marcus, go ahead.
Yeah, well, two things. The first, to clean the thing about the Coinbase issue. Basically, first I didn't got the content. Sorry. So the problem is that on the Hive test there are two checks about the Coinbase access account access cost. So in Pression Guide there is a hard coded value that is failing. So and that's the one value. So probably it's an issue with that hard code value. I need to check with Mario what is hard coded to that value. I don't really know, but in Potion Guide, every value. I mean, the important thing is that this is set on Potion Guide to a fixed value, and that value is checking. Okay, I mean, after the AIP is applied, when we check the storage in the specific key, and on that block we get that the warm Coinbase is set to the right value. So there will not be an issue with the Coinbase and the AP itself. So that's the important thing to notice. I need to check with Mario why Pressure Guy is not working, but in Potion Guy, after the EIP is applied, everything is working as expected.
Okay, so it wasn't working before, but now it's fine. So it's not a blocker for the.
No. Once the EIP is applied, there is no issue with the Coinbase is checked as expected. The warm Coinbase storage, sorry. And regarding the things that we did on the last week, we are updating Hive to the new withdrawal test. We are facing some issues with Erigon regarding inside gas error. I am checking that with Andrew already. So as soon as it gets done, so I will notify that for the group.
Sorry, can you repeat what the issue was with Erigon?
There is a inside gas error. Sorry, when we are trying to perform transactions on the new network that we set up. I didn't got the issue yet, so I can't give you more insights on that. This is the error that is throwing me the RPC.
Okay, perfect. Well, I guess I should have asked for Erigon before because Andrew left now, but anyways. And then there's one issue from Geth. So Guillaume is having family issues, I guess. and he hasn't had much time to work on this. But yeah, he was having troubles calling the reward contracts, but I think he has something in mind with this. And he might contact Andrew, but he might also just know how to do it. So it's just a matter of having time to do this, basically. And then I forget the infra providers. So Gateway, do you have any updates?
Yeah, small one also. Erigon team already knows. We had issues with like half of our archival Erigon nodes for Gnosis, and it was caused by snapshots. So if you use snapshot stop, then it helps, but it was a bit of work to actually recover our nodes. Let's put it like this. But again, Erigon team knows. It's reported in the GitHub. Yeah, that's I think it. And there is a workaround, luckily. So.
It's good to know because we might be impacted at some degree as well.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I guess that's mostly it. So let's make sure that everything goes well for the mainnet. So yeah, the to-do is still the same. Make sure that we upgrade Shadow based on PR46 in case everything works with the storage layouts. We're not doing a shadow fork then, or if anyone, I mean, if you don't agree, then please speak up. And yeah, I think that's it then.
Yeah, as a last thing, so we don't have the issues we had in Shadow. Can you, Ruben, George, or someone independently compute the timestamp for the fork?
Sure.
We added this test, so if timestamp is not divisible by expected number 8192, something like that, and then it will not work. But of course, we will double check.
Okay. Yeah, if you can do just double check today manually and give it thumbs up on the chat before we compilate.
You mean the mainnet timestamp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, if there's nothing else, then see you next week and probably like in the Telegram chat for releases and everything. So yeah.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.